2018. It was supposed to be my year. Millions of subs, millions of dollars, millions of those of the female gender. Sorry, Allison. Sorry. I'm triggered! Not. It was supposed to be my year. And it wasn't. You know what? It just really wasn't. But you know what? It's a new year, and I thought of this very clever phrase. It is new year, new me. So today we're going to be talking about ghost hunting apps, and if you guys are new to the channel, it's kind of a topic that I've covered before, and we've done a couple videos on them, but today is going to be a little bit different because I was clued in on a specific theory when it comes to ghost hunting apps, and it's kind of surprising, kind of slimy, and I don't know if it's true or not, so we're going to see. So when it comes to ghost hunting apps, there are two popular theories out there that people use to try and discredit the credibility of these apps, with the first one being that they actually use the microphone in your phone and are able to generate responses based off of some of the words that you say. Now, I'm not sure about that theory. It's interesting to me, but that's not the one that I'm going to be talking about today. The theory that I'm going to be talking about today is that these ghost hunting apps will actually access your contact list inside your phone and use some of those names throughout the app as messages from ghosts, to make people believe that these ghosts actually know something about them. So there are two kind of issues with that. First of all, obviously the app is lying to you. It's making it seem like there's a ghost by you, when in reality, it's just literally hacking into your phone. And the second issue is the fact that it is going into your contact list and it's accessing that information without you knowing and without your consent to it. So that's why this could potentially be a bigger issue than just, oh, the app's not real. But this is just a theory to keep in mind. So I want to test this out today. I want to use some of the apps that have been called out and see if they come up with any names that are in my contact lists, which would be obviously an indication that they really are going into my contact list. So the first app that I'm going to try is actually one that I've used in a previous video, and that is called Ghost Hunting Tools. So I turned the camera off and I let the app run for a little bit, and within 10 minutes, we had our first name. Okay, this just happened. We got our first name, and that name is Anthony. So the name Anthony, fairly common name, but let's go to my contacts to see if there is an Anthony in there. So we do have an Anthony. I'm not so concerned about the last initial of F. That wouldn't be included in this anyway. So that is a little weird. So Anthony is a really common name, but could they really have taken that name just out of my contact list? I would need a more specific name, not such a basic name. It's a little weird, I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm gonna let this app run for a little longer to see if any more names from my contact list pop up, and hopefully one more specific, more of an uncommon name. We're just gonna wait and find out. Okay guys, we got our second name of the day, and it is Greg, but not the typical way to spell Greg. It's Greg with 2 G's. So let's go to the contact list. Do I have a Greg with 2 G's in it? Here we go. No Greg with 2 G's. I do have a Greg with 1 G. I have 2 Gregs with 1 G, but no Greg with 2 G's or 3 G's. I am confusing myself a lot.
You know what I mean.
So that's a legitimate name that was given out. It has nothing to do with me, not part of my contact list. So I don't know, maybe they are just generating random names, or it is an actual spirit telling me their name. But that spelling is very interesting. That's not a common way to spell that name. So while I was letting this run, one of the responses that came up was name, just name. So that could almost be seen as like a spirit, like almost trolling me because I'm waiting for them to send names in. So they say just name. I feel like that's a little bit of a sass towards me. No, I don't know. Like that's probably a reach. Everybody calm down. That's probably a reach. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let this run for like an hour now. I'm not going to film it. I'm going to go upstairs, let it run till I fall asleep, and then we'll check in the morning to see if any names from my contact list appeared on this list. This should be juicy. Okay, so I ended up falling asleep like right after this, but I woke up the next morning and I ran the app for about an hour, and I only picked up 2 more names. One of which was Satan, which I sure as hell do not have him in my contact list, and the other one was Jessica. So I had to check and see if Jessica was a name that was actually in my contact list or not. So I searched the name Jessica in my contacts, and wouldn't you know, there were 2 results. So that means out of the 3 names that this app provided me with, 2 of them were names that were in my contact list, and the other one was very close. So after all is said and done, what does this really mean? Does this really prove anything? Honestly, I personally don't think so. And let me explain. All the names that this app displayed were fairly common and generic names. Everybody knows an Anthony, everybody knows a Jessica, everybody knows a Greg. So seeing these types of names on this app, yeah, it's kind of weird that 2 of them also happen to be in my contact list, but it doesn't really prove anything. Now, I also tried using the Ghost Radar app, but I actually went like 50 minutes without even getting a single name, not even one name. Even with the Ghost Hunting Tools app, we only got 3 legitimate names in the span of about 2 hours. So if this company really was trying to scare us and scam us with these names, it would be a lot more prevalent. Also, people put all sorts of obscure things into their contact lists. Like some people use like in case of emergency or weird nicknames and stuff that doesn't even make sense, and sometimes even like gibberish. So if they were really pulling names out of the contact lists, I think it would be a little more obvious, because we would be getting weird things like nicknames or maybe even like emojis and stuff that would be popping up into this, which clearly those do not pop up on these apps. So yeah, I think it would be a whole lot more obvious if these apps really were breaking into our contact lists. So do I believe that these ghost hunting apps are actually going into our contact lists, taking names out and using them throughout their apps? I don't. But this theory actually does make me think back to the first time that I ever used a ghost hunting app, and it was the original Ghost Radar, and it was on the iPhone 4, and I'm pretty sure it was the first ghost hunting app ever made. And me and my friend were both using it on our separate phones, and within the span of about an hour, my app ended up saying his name and his app ended up saying my name, which was honestly at the time really weird. It kind of messed me up at the time. We were going crazy, but now looking back at it, I feel like back then maybe they did go into our contact lists, because I had just gotten my phone and he was honestly one of the only people in my contact list. Like it was him, my mom, and maybe a few other people. And I have a feeling it was probably the same way with his phone. So either that's a really weird coincidence, or some ghosts were really spooking on us, or those apps were breaking into our contact lists. Either way, I do not think that is an issue now. I think you guys are free to enjoy these apps and use them. Obviously, be a little cautious. I'm not saying that these apps are real. I'm just saying I don't think that they're scamming us like that. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. My upload schedule is now going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to commit to that. That is my New Year's resolution. Well, the camera died. But yes, I know I already missed a couple of days. Do not start fighting me on this, because I'm gonna get triggered. All right, guys, I will see you very soon with another video. Peace.